Today I'm with two members of the Story Quilt whose squares have a unique meaning behind them, and the way they did it was different. So I wanted to talk to them about how they decided to design it that way and what it means.
Great. So Becky and I have been neighbors now for 11 years, and our houses back up into each other. And when they first moved in, we were very excited to meet our new neighbors, and my son ran over and introduced himself. And we very shortly after the kids started playing with each other, we decided to remove a fence in between our properties, which led to us having what we now refer to as our shared backyard.
Yeah, it was a pretty, you never know when you move into a new house what your neighbors are going to be, and so you're just really rolling the dice. You like the house and you sort of hope for the best, and we honestly moved in and hit the jackpot because our backyard at the time didn't have a play set, and the one in the back did. And they were like, well, of course, why would you get a play set? Just use ours. Let's take this fence down. And it was like a 2-slat fence. And very easily just whoop, whoop, and that was down, and that was it. And we were like, great, this is great. And the kids have, been raised like siblings since they were young. We do a lot of things together. We just, and then in the COVID years, it was, still okay to be outside, and that made a lot of space and a lot of place for community that may not have existed if we didn't live next door to each other.
Right, and we've had so many amazing kind of intercultural exchanges between our two families because, on paper you wouldn't think that we would click and be, so enmeshed, but we share so many things together. We share our holidays, we share our food, we share parenting responsibilities.
100%.
And so it has really enriched our lives and our children's lives to have different perspectives and just like baked in.
Yeah.
So for our square, what we decided to do is represent our shared backyard. So the theme of our square is no fences.
Yeah, so you'll see it in the quilt. The two dark green squares come right up to next to each other on the bottom. And we have a little garden space that we share. There's, again, no border between where our yard ends and theirs starts. And so we have this shared garden space that's represented on the quilt. And then we gave other sort of pictorial representations of what's important to our family. So because our family does the music boosters, or I mostly do the music boosters, I have musical notes, and then you'll see on Janie's, because she's the president of the visual arts boosters, essentially. She has more artistic, graphical representations, and so there's just a lot of synergy in the two squares together.
Yes, we were music and art combined.
Were you guys able to work on your squares together?
Absolutely.
We totally did, especially when first drawing it out, trying to make sure that the two garden areas would match in the right, and then making sure the house pictorial representations were the same-ish. So we sat and really planned it out, and then sat together while figuring out how to make different things in the embroidery.
And then my fault, I made the squares the wrong size. So then we had to sit together to fix it, because we had to undo pieces of our square and then redo them. Because I have a spatial problem.
Yeah, which is, again, just classic of our relationship. I just blindly believe that what you're telling me is absolutely true.
So we had to fix it together as well. So yes, it was absolutely collaboration. We got together, we worked on it to make sure that they would merge, not match, but merge. And they are made of the same piece of fabric.
That's really cool. Thank you for sharing with me today.
You're welcome.